Something has changed in the air lately. Something that makes the entire digital space of ARMY vibrate with the same question. When will Season 2 of Are You Sure be released? It's not just curiosity, it's longing. A longing for the two souls who once made the world stop for a moment, with nothing more than a shared glance and a small laugh in the middle of their journey. And now, all signs point to one answer. Yes, are you sure? 2 is real. From Jimin's subtle confirmation on his birthday to Big Hit Music's official statement, the world knows something big is coming. But behind the euphoria, another storm is forming. Hate, sabotage, and fear from those who aren't ready to face the truth. Because sometimes what people fear most isn't rumor, but something too real. Welcome back to Jikook Magic, where we explore not just facts, but feelings behind the screen that's never completely closed. During a Weverse livestream held exactly on his birthday, Jimin received a question that made the entire fandom hold its breath. Is the recording finished? The question referred to Are You Sure? The travel documentary that revealed the personal side of both him and Jungkook. With a warm smile and a calm, meaningful tone, Jimin answered simply, yes, the recording is done. That short answer shook the ARMY world. Not just because he indirectly confirmed that Are You Sure 2 truly exists, but because of the way he said it, sincere, effortless, without promotional fluff. He didn't mention a release date, didn't promise anything. Yet from the peace in his voice, everyone could feel it. Something big was waiting to unfold. Hours later, Big Hit Music released an official statement confirming that filming had indeed wrapped. Outlets like Soompi and My Daily followed up with reports stating that Jimin and Jungkook had completed their long journey for the second season. Filmed across Switzerland and Vietnam, 2 contrasting yet beautiful places, much like the dynamic between them. With that confirmation, Are You Sure? 2 officially stopped being fandom speculation and became a real production, now entering post-production, editing, scoring, and scheduling. Though no release date has been announced, 2 logical windows are being discussed. A late 2025, following the release pattern of Season 1, which aired between August-September 2024, or early 2026, if the editing and distribution process requires additional time. This means that within weeks or months, the world could see the first teaser, poster, or trailer. And if true, Are You Sure? 2 will become the first project marking BTS's post-military renaissance. A symbolic rebirth not only for the group, but for the 2 souls at the heart of this story. The first season of Are You Sure? Was released as a kind of farewell gift before Jimin and Jungkook began their military service. Set across the United States, Jeju, and Sapporo, the series showcased their most natural selves. 2 young men laughing, joking, and comforting each other amid the weight of fame. Now, the second season will be a story of return. How 2 people, once separated by duty, reunite carrying new maturity, new scars, and deeper meaning. If the first season was about togetherness before parting, then the second will be about reunion after growth. Yet behind the joy and wide support from ARMY, old shadows have resurfaced. The extremist faction of the fandom known as the Hardline Taekookers. They refuse to accept the closeness between Jimin and Jungkook and have gone as far as digital sabotage to stop the show from airing. Their pattern of attacks is both repetitive and alarming, sending mass emails to production companies demanding the show's cancellation, or writing to government offices to separate the 2 during military service. Spreading false claims that Are You Sure? Was merely corporate fan service. Constantly shifting their arguments, from this is staged to Jungkook is being manipulated. Ironically, their intensity only serves as proof that there's something real behind the scenes. They're not fighting rumors, they're fighting reality. They fear sincerity because sincerity cannot be fabricated. They fear silence because in silence, truth speaks the loudest. Are You Sure? Is not just a travel documentary. It's a portrait of authenticity, of how 2 people interact without a script, how one glance can convey 100 unspoken sentences, how silence can become the most honest language. And it is precisely that authenticity that makes some people uncomfortable. Because in every frame, Jimin and Jungkook appear too real. No gimmicks, no forced dialogue. Only laughter, companionship, and intimacy too organic to be called acting. Such beauty terrifies those who live by illusion, because when truth surfaces, fantasy collapses. In South Korea's entertainment world, where heteronormativity remains an unwritten social rule, showing affection towards someone of the same gender is never easy. Every glance is examined, every touch interpreted, every silence doubted. And in that atmosphere, Jimin and Jungkook simply remain themselves, without exaggeration, without pretense. They don't declare anything, but they don't deny it either. They just are, and perhaps that's the bravest kind of love. Their courage doesn't come from challenging the world with words, but from resisting it through gentleness. Not through protest, but through consistency. Staying together, protecting each other, and remaining the best versions of themselves. We live in an era where reality can be edited in seconds. Videos can be trimmed, expressions manipulated, context erased. But there are things that can't be edited. The way someone looks at another, the spontaneity of laughter, the small gestures born without a script. That's Where Are You Sure? Becomes invaluable. Every second of footage is an archive of emotion, something conspiracy theories can never erase. No matter how loudly extremists scream, the footage will speak for itself. In the sunlight of Switzerland or the humid streets of Vietnam, you'll see two men who aren't performing. They're simply living. In recent months, ARMY's digital spaces have felt heavier. Amid edited clips, false rumors, and endless threads of speculation, one uneasy question lingers. How can something so beautiful cause so much pain? Perhaps the answer is simple. Because the world still isn't ready to accept beauty that doesn't fit its expectations. To some, Jimin and Jungkook's closeness threatens the fantasies they've built for years. But for those who see with their hearts, this isn't controversy. It's humanity. Those who followed BTS from the start know that Jimin and Jungkook have been through everything together, from cramped dorm rooms to global stages. In every documentary, every Bangtan bomb, there's always a subtle rhythm connecting them. A glance held a little longer, a spontaneous touch amid laughter, or simply a silence that feels safe, all forming a language that needs no words. That's not a script, that's reality. And perhaps because it's too real, many try to deny it. But Jimin and Jungkook never force anyone to believe. They never explain, never defend. They simply keep walking quietly side by side in a world they've built themselves. A space where love can breathe without fear. When Are You Sure? 2 finally releases. The world will see not just 2 K-pop stars, but 2 human beings who have grown, supported each other, and dared to share honesty amid the storm of opinions. Every attempt at sabotage only proves one thing. Truth terrifies those who live in lies. So for now, let the world wait. Patiently, with open hearts, and with the belief that whatever form it takes, Are You Sure? 2 will be a celebration of love, courage, and authenticity. Something too beautiful to be silenced. Because sometimes, love doesn't need to be declared. It only needs to be felt. In a smile, a glance, a warm silence. In the end, Are You Sure? Isn't just about the journey of 2 K-pop idols. It's about 2 human beings who have grown, changed, and chosen to remain honest, even as the world watches with a million assumptions. Perhaps the world isn't ready to embrace beauty that defies expectations. But beauty doesn't need permission to exist. When Are You Sure? 2 finally arrives, we won't just witness a documentary. We'll witness courage. The courage to be real, to stay gentle in a harsh world, to love without explanation. So let time do its work, because truth always finds its way, through glances, through laughter, through silences too sincere to hide. Thank you for watching Jikook Magic. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell, because here we don't just talk about fandom, we celebrate connection that transcends words. See you in the next video, and perhaps When Are You Sure? Season 2 finally arrives. We'll all find a small piece of ourselves, in the way Jimin and Jungkook look at each other.